Hey, what is going on guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys a few tips for support. If you haven't seen tips for mid lane, top lane, jungle, or AD carry yet, then I'll leave a link to them in the description below so you guys can go check those out if you want. But let's get into the video. So my first tip is going to be to make sure you're swapping your yellow trinket for a red trinket when you purchase your sightstone. So the reason why you want to do this is because there's really no reason in having your yellow trinket, because you're going to always have 4 wards pretty much all the time with your sightstone. So there's no point in carrying that extra trinket ward around. You're better off to have the sweeper where you can clear out the enemy's wards, as well as being able to place your own wards down with your sightstone. And if you're not buying a sightstone when you're playing as support already, it should be the main item that you're picking up as support. No matter what game you're playing, you should be picking up a sightstone as your first item, because the main goal of the main role of a support is to make sure that your team has good vision and to make sure that high traffic areas are warded so you don't get picked off and so you don't have to face check. So make sure that you're picking up a sightstone as your first core item and that you're swapping your yellow trinket for a red trinket when you do pick up the sightstone. My next tip is buy items dependent on how the game is going or if the enemy team has a lot of CC. So for example, if the enemy team doesn't have a lot of CC, then buying a Mikhail's really isn't the best idea. If the enemy team has like a Leona, if they have a Fizz, if they have a really dive heavy comp, then buying a Mikhail's in that situation is a good idea because you are going to get good use out of it. But if you're not going to get use out of an item, then there's no point in purchasing it. And also, if you're doing really well and you're ahead, then you might even want to build a damage item on a support, but you should be focused on buying items to keep your teammates alive. For example, Locket, Mikhail's, buying a sightstone obviously, and buying just like peel items to keep your teammates alive is what you want to be doing as a support, unless you're like really far ahead in lane and you think that you can end the game pretty quickly. Then you could go for a damage item. Like if you're playing Janna, buying a Majai's isn't a bad idea, because when you're playing as Janna and you get ahead, it's really hard for the enemies to kill you because you have so much peel. So if you do get ahead as a support, then buying a damage item isn't a bad idea, but you should always be looking to purchase those items to help peel for your damage. My next tip is if you're ahead in lane and you've taken the enemy's tower and you've won your lane, then buy Mobies and start to roam. So especially if you're on a support like Blitzcrank, Thresh, Morgana, Leona, who have really good engage abilities, you should be looking to buy mobility boots if you're ahead and roam to other lanes to help them out, because they have a lot of kill potential with their engage ability. So you should be looking to roam if you do get ahead in lane, if you're playing a good champion that has a good engage. My next tip is to make sure you're saving your crowd control for the enemy CC engage. For example, if you're playing as Janna, you want to try to save your ultimate for when the enemies try and jump on your AD carry. If the enemies have like a Kha'Zix or a Warwick, you want to make sure that you have your ultimate up or that you have your tornado up for when they try to jump on your AD carry, because if you don't, then your AD carry is probably going to die. So rather than using your CC to engage sometimes, it's better to use it to peel for your damage, because if your damage dies, then it's going to be really hard for you to win the team fight. So that's what you should be focused on doing, saving your CC to peel for your support. Unless of course you're playing with playing a champion like Thresh, Blitzcrank, Leona that has a really good engage ability, then obviously use those to try to find a pick or something, but you should always be saving some sort of CC if the enemy has a good engage to use it on your AD carry if the enemies do engage on them. And my final tip is going to be to make sure that you're taking advantage of the enemy's abilities being on cooldown. For example, Blitzcrank, Thresh, Morgana all have pretty long cooldowns on their engage, so if they are on cooldown, then make sure that you're going more aggressive and taking advantage of that. especially like if you're playing against Morgana and she uses her black shield and you're playing as someone like Thresh or Blitzcrank, then you should definitely be looking to find that hook, because if Morgana's black shield's down, then you're going to be able to get that hook if you can land it. So make sure that you know your enemy's cooldowns or how long they are, and you're taking advantage of them when they're on cooldown. So that is all for the video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any other tips that you would like to make known, then you can leave them in the comments below and I will upvote them if I think they are a good tip. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day and I will see you in my next video.